I didn't realize I signed up for a masterclass in disappointment on this date I had a few nights ago. You think you have it bad? You think you have it bad? In the last month, I've got stood up twice. I went on a date with her daughter, and her daughter's husband. Yeah, that's right. I was the fourth wheel.
Peter.
At the end of this date, lads, I needed a horse tranquilizer to calm me down. So let's give you the backstory. So I meet this girl, got her number, agreed to go on a date. So we go on, last Friday, I agreed to, okay, let's meet at this bar at 8 o'clock. Boom, perfect, done. Saturday rolls around. Now, I didn't text her, by the way. And by the way, maybe this is a bit of useful information for you. I didn't text her on the day because I just assumed she's going to show up, right? I'm going to show up. So I'm not feeling, oh, hey, should I check in just to make sure? So anyway, she texts me at about 7:15. This is 8 o'clock now, daytime. 7:15, she texts me. Hey, how you doing, Peter? Are you still meeting me later? I'm like, what? I said, yeah, hey, how's it going? Yeah, of course I am, yeah. I'm nearly on the way into town there now in a few minutes. She's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm sitting here with my daughter and her daughter's husband. I'm like, huh? How old is this girl? I'm thinking, right, in fairness, she looks maybe mid-30s, max, young 30s, right? She ends up having a daughter. I'm like, jeez, okay. Anyway, it didn't faze me. I was just shocked that she's in her 40s, right? No problem, anyway. So I go along and I'm thinking, okay, what am I going into here? And I'm not even sure. And even the fact that she texts me, I was even thinking, hang on a second, is she even going to show up? I had this creepy, weird feeling. So anyway, I get to the bar. They're sitting outside, the three of them. And let me just point it out again to you. The mother, the daughter, and the daughter's husband. Now, the two kids are, 25? I think your man was 27. So yeah, daughter was 25, daughter was 27, something like that. Or it was the other way around, sorry. Your man is 27, she's 25. Anyway, so I'm sitting there anyway. I'm thinking, okay, I asked them for a drink. They said no, I got a drink and I sit down anyway. Now I'm thinking at this stage, when I'm in the bar getting a drink, I'm thinking, okay, well look, sure, yeah, they're probably going to leave in a minute, obviously, they don't want to be the awkward folk here, like. So anyway, sit down, 10 o'clock rolls around. They're still sitting there. That's right. Now, a couple of people have said to me, Peter, why didn't you just leave? Or why didn't you just try and get her to leave with you? And actually, well, that's a good question. But funnily enough, lads, I actually wanted to just see how this was going to play out. Do you know what I mean? And at the same time, you're not too sure what to do. Do you know that sort of situation where you think about it afterwards and you're like, yeah, Peter, what, come on, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? You should have gone. You should have left. All lovely hindsight, wonderful. But you just don't know in that sort of scenario. So anyway, I'm sitting there and about, I would say, 9:45 rolls up. Now, the girl I'm sitting with is a Brazilian. Her daughter is a Brazilian. And the Irish husband is obviously, Irish. What am I saying? So he's Irish. Now, the girl that I'm meeting, she's telling me on the messages, oh, look, please be patient with me. I'm still trying to learn English, all this. And I'm like, yeah, of course, no problem. Whatever. It's all good. So, and in fairness, I get a lot of compliments by saying that because I've got a lot of patience when it comes to people learning different languages. I don't get snippy like, oh, come on, would you? Like, I understand. It's tough to learn a different language. So I'm very patient when it comes to this. She's sitting there. She barely tries to talk to me. I end up talking to your man for the whole bloody 2 hours. And she's broken English when I'm trying to talk to her. But for some reason, she's got perfect English when it comes to talking to your man. Like, smooth, silk cut. And I'm just sitting there like, wow, does she actually think I'm this dumb? That I'm actually falling for this selective English crap that she's coming on with? So at the same time, like guys, in a bad situation, sometimes you want to see how this plays out. So 9:45, she whips out her phone. She takes out Google Translate because she can't speak English. She takes it out. She goes, blah, 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 blah. She shows it to me and it says, hey, we're going to a Brazilian party at 10 o'clock. That's it. Now I'm thinking, oh, okay then. So I look at her kind of like, oh, okay, well, this date isn't going very well, I guess. You're not inviting me along here. So I'm just kind of like, all right, just leave it off. Fine, look, people don't get on dates. People do get on dates, whichever way this goes. So 10 o'clock comes. As a couple of minutes before 10 o'clock, I literally call one of my boys because I'm like, all right, this is done. I'm sitting here like the fourth wheel on a date. She has no problem sitting here, not even feeling awkward about bringing her daughter and the husband along on a date. They're not feeling awkward. Like, can you imagine that, sitting there on a date? And you know that they're on a date and you're the one sitting there? Wouldn't you be out the door instantly? You'd be gone. You'd be heading for the hills here. Your ship has sailed. You're out the door. You don't want to feel awkward. And it is an awkward scenario, right? But they didn't feel awkward. Then I end up seeing the mother and the husband dude flirting with each other in front of me. At the same time, I'm imagining, hang on, no. I'm imagining this, lads, aren't I? Am I imagining this? I have to be imagining this. Have to be. This is not happening. So, of course, lads, as you know, hindsight, you think about it afterwards, and then it starts to hit home that, oh my God, they were flirting. So anyway, they head off to the festival. As she gets up, my buddy's inside the bar, and this is at about 4 minutes past 10. He texts me, hey man, I'm at the bar. I went, hey, listen, yeah, I'm just sitting outside with these people here. Just give me a few minutes. I want to see how this plays out. I'll explain to you in a minute. He goes, oh, okay, Grant. So anyway, they get up. She goes, hey, would you like to come? And I was kind of like, nah. Now, I'm not sure in this situation, lads. And by the way, here's another lesson for anybody out there. If you do want someone to come along on a date with you, you ask them to come along, okay? You don't just assume that they're going to be coming along. Make them feel welcome. Right? Now, in my eyes, I'm thinking, she doesn't want me coming along. What? She doesn't want me coming along. Forget it. So I said, no, look, it's okay. Well, sure, look, I'll talk to you later. I go into my friend and I'm raging. I'm fuming now. And he's like, yes, are you all right, man? I'm like, no, I'm not all right. I just ended up being on a date with 3 other people. No one flinched. No one gave a damn. And then she has broken English. She's flirting with your man. He's flirting back with her. And they just decide to leave. I'm fuming. And he goes, he's trying to calm me down. And then they'll say to me, well, look, man, maybe she did want you to come along. You know, she did say it to you, you know? Now I'm thinking, oh, okay, am I just in a fuming mode here? Like, I mean, in fairness, look, man, I'm not feeling the love from this girl here. You know? He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, if you're on a date, you want to ask the girl out, right? If you want to see her, if you want to spend more time with her, you're going to, hey, would you like to come? Oh yeah, come along, right? Or a girl could say that to a guy. No big deal. This girl, well, would you like to come? And she says that at the end. So I'm explaining, he goes, all right, okay, I see where you're going with this. And I said, okay, well, dude, I don't know. Am I imagining something here? Like, do you know, like, what do I do? So he goes, well, I'll give her a text in the next few weeks, or a few days. So about a half an hour later, I'm kind of calming down. So I actually didn't just turn around and say, you know what, I'll text her. I said, hey, would you like to meet at 12:30? And I was kind of throwing in a lifeline for me here, you know? Let's go for a drink, just the two of us, hopefully. And maybe, just maybe, I got it wrong. So then she texts me back. She says, I know exactly what you did. Who the hell do you think you are? Something like this. I can't remember the exact words now, lads, but literally it was like, who the hell do you think you are? What are you up to? What's your game or something? I'm like, what? So I text her back. I said, sorry, I don't know what you mean. She goes, I know what you said to my daughter. And I said, what did I say to your daughter? And then she goes, oh, you told them that we're on a couple's date. I'm like, huh? No, I didn't. So I text her back. I said, no, I didn't. And then I was going to text another message. Then I see one tick on WhatsApp. And she literally blocked me. I went, oh, well, okay, conversation over. And I'm thinking, what the hell is she talking about? And anyway, so she basically makes something up. Clearly, the husband guy, made that up about me because he wants to have the mother to himself. He wants to have sex with the mother. And I'm not joking you, lads. This unfolded right in front of my very own eyes. and the mother is dying to jump into bed with this lad. So I'm just like, what in God's name is going on here? Seriously? And guys, look, that's my dating story. I don't know if you think this is interesting or boring or funny, entertaining, but you know, there's a couple of lessons out here. And I've said this a few times in my podcast, and I'm going to say it again. Jordan Peterson said, if you can't figure out what someone's doing, look at the outcome and infer the motivation. And one of my friends, I told him about it last night, and he actually said, dude, I actually reckon she brought you along to make the husband jealous. And the penny dropped with me. It absolutely dropped. Again, he's just throwing out a random theory, but me being on the date, getting the vibe off the two of them, that was 100% what it was. So guys, my point is, if something doesn't make sense, like for all I know, she made this up, right? To just blow me off, right? Or the husband dude made it up, or even the daughter maybe even made it up, right? 100% didn't come from me. But again, my point is, the whole thing didn't make sense because they're basically throwing out some random garbage that I didn't say, doesn't make any sense. And let's just go with, even if I did say it, so what? You know, it's not like I called the daughter a horrible person. She was actually a nice enough girl. She actually, like, I'm stating the fact, and that's even if I did say it, which I didn't. So it doesn't make sense, right? But it makes all the sense in the world because I didn't know her motivation. Her motivation that night was to just, okay, maybe she had, a little bit of interest, or maybe, maybe she's attracted to me, or maybe he's kind of funny, or, whatever, right? Or maybe she was just bored looking for kicks on a Saturday night. But there was a lot more going on that meets the eye here. Her motivation was to bring me out, make the guy jealous. Now, some of you might think I'm crazy and paranoid, but I'm not. Lads, there's people out there that look for ego boosts. Even the other day, I even did a social media post on this the other day, lads. There was a guy telling me that he has a colleague at work who works with him, and it's a girl, and she actually admitted that she goes on Tinder every day, and she's single. She goes on Tinder every day, swipes with zero intention of going on a date. She actually even admitted that to a guy. I gotta admit, on one hand, I gotta admit to, hey, at least she's being honest. But lads, if you think there is people out there that all mean the best in the world and they've no other ploy, evil ploy, or whatever you call it. I'm not saying this girl's evil, but evil does exist, lads. Evil does exist. There's a lot of people that are looking for ego boosts out there. And I was just not the victim. I hate that word. I just got suckered in for a complete waste of my time. If you can't figure out what someone's doing, look at the outcome and infer the motivation. Number 2, why waste your time? Seriously, why waste your time? Even for this girl. To me, that doesn't make any sense in the world why you would just, oh really, am I going to really invite a girl out to make someone else jealous? Really? Is this my angle? Number 1, I'd be very disappointed in myself, which I would never do, by the way. But I would be very disappointed in myself if I actually ended up thinking this. Number 2, why am I going out, getting ready, having a shower, putting on clothes, getting in a cab, getting in a bus, making my way into wherever, into town, to meet somebody, wasting my time? I could just go out in the piss with the lads. And even that's the selfish reason. Why waste someone else's time? You know what I mean? There's a lot to take out of this, lads. And it's just depends on the way you look at it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still fuming about this. Stood up twice in a month, and then to end up this in the same month. Jesus. There's something in the water, lads. There's something in the water. There's something in the food that we're eating. There's something in the air that we're breathing in that is making people go mental. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So anyway, lads, I'm signing off right now. If you're out there, keep the chin up. Now, I'm fuming right now. I'm going to take a few days off the dating apps. And I'm going to get back on the horse again, lads. There's no two ways about it. And that's the most important, lads. If you have a bad date, don't let it put you off, all right? Look at me. I just got stood up twice in a month, and I have this crap to deal with on last Saturday night. I'm going to take a few days off. Absolutely. But it's not going to stop me. It is not going to stop. Never give up, lads. Enough said.
Peter.
Wow.